You ain't worried about the state of the world, are you? You have selfish motivation, so you single me out. Say I'm dangerous, I'm fear-mongering. Why am I dangerous? Because I tell people that they are already perfect? Or that you are greater than anything that happens to you? Or that the mood depression that you are experiencing will pass like a cloud in the sky? And you should never identify with depression, nor make a permanent decision from a temporary emotion, aka suicide?
Will send you personal messages from me sent straight to your phone.
2 weeks later.
Hello, I've gone to Princey's school, and it's just as terrible as we all thought.
I send a fourth email. At this point, it's a desperate plea because I don't know what to do at this point. It's almost been a month, and I haven't gotten a damn thing for my 9 hard-earned dollars that I spent on this goddamn life school.
4 days later, March 9th, my final call attempt, and maybe this time around, you can understand where the passion in my response is coming from.
The customer you are calling is not available. Please try.
It's business hours, you
Boop!
Give me my $9 back, you slut!
Hey guys, it's Randomizer, Gamer News, or Crazy Cuber here, and today we're going to be talking about a YouTuber called Princey A. He was a creator that started out on the early days of the YouTube platform. He did rapping he made rap videos on his channel, but he would eventually transition from that to making inspirational content to try and help others out. However, along the way, he's been exposed for making misinformation-filled and overall just crappy videos, and that would eventually lead to Prince simmering down in the YouTube community. Additionally, he would then rip off and scam multiple people online with this so-called life school. And he'd eventually make multiple disappearances throughout his channel recently. Recently in 2021, he started disappearing from YouTube multiple times, with his overall average views declining as well. So without further ado, let's tell his story.
Princey A, whose real name is Richard Williams, was born in a town called St. Louis, Missouri. He created his YouTube channel on July 11th, 2006, and his first ever videos uploaded on the YouTube platform were basically just rap songs. His own rap songs.
The piece. So when I say the streets is watching, that's not just a figure of speech. So when I speak my speech, I outsmart my wisdom teeth. Yeah, I can spit for intellectuals and flop on the streets, but I'd rather touch the hood like I'm being stopped by police. Just reincarnated at the Lorraine Hotel, sit down. Darkness or locked in Auschwitz, side by side with mighty men, systematically put there by IBM. I don't care if you believe it's the theoretical physicist, meticulous multi-dimensional lyricist. Ever since the colonial clipper ships came pillaging innocent villages, I was discerning the difference between parts of this planet is inhabited by idiots and ability in love with the remnants of imprisonment. You thing is deliberate, secret initiatives carried out with precision, kid, to cripple the population and force it into submissiveness. It's the oldest trick in the book of Genesis. I'm about to have that all-seeing eye start flickering when I expose the old Bohemian Grove.
These videos did not do much for his growth overall. However, sometime in 2010 when he started making inspirational content, that's when things would positively change for EA at this time. Here, I'm about to show you some of Richard's good inspirational content that he's made throughout his career overall. Here are some of those videos.
How heavy is this glass of water? Answer, it gets heavier the longer we hold on to it. See, imagine this glass represents all the pain, the regrets, and the fear that we carry around with us every day, exhausting our minds and our bodies. Put it down, let it go, because the longer we hold on to it, the heavier it gets. What are you holding on to? Maybe somebody hurt you, your past? Well, you're allowing them to hurt, frustrate, and stress you over and over again every time you think about it. Let it go. Maybe you're holding on to your ideas about what your happiness should look like. Your very ideas about happiness are standing in the way of achieving true happiness. Let it go. We let go not by running away or avoiding, but by embracing what happens to us and accepting that the universe does what it wants to do without our permission to teach us. And the only way to be free is to surrender to this concept and also understand that everything in this world is temporary. Knowing this allows us to fully appreciate every moment we have with something and not cling to it, but let it go when it goes. See, only a fool worries about the inevitable. So how heavy is this glass of water? It was heavy, but I let it go. Painfully. Congratulations. Now, go. So, you failed your final exam, you didn't get the job that you wanted, and your relationship ended painfully. Congratulations. Now, before you click off of this video, I want to tell you that I myself have been afraid of failure for practically all my life until I learned the truth. And the truth is failure is one of our greatest friends. I mean, success is cool, but it naturally builds the ego, arrogance, pride, and greed. But failure is special. See, failure naturally builds humility, self-examination, and self-realization. I mean, failure can bring you closer to God, because failure teaches us so many things about ourselves, but only if we are quiet enough to listen. So don't get angry because you fail, because your anger is blocking the lesson. See, failure equals new possibilities in life that you didn't expect. And in life, you can't expect anything to go your way. All you can do is put your all into what you're doing and let go. Sometimes you win and sometimes you learn. I mean, there are so many stories of successful people failing over and over again. I think the moral is that if you aren't afraid of failure and you learn from your failures, you can literally fail your way to success. Because a wise man once said, even a broken clock is right twice a day.
He has also made really good videos on calling out issues that are pretty big problems in everyday life. For example, he pointed out in the video that he did, he basically talked about relationship abuse, and he called out the corrupt school system. And well, because of how good and respectful his content was at this time, his videos started to become a hit. And around the time of early to mid 2015, he would reach his first 1 million subscribers on the platform and continued to get more and more popular from there. However, after that, it wasn't long before the cracks in Princier's true character began to bleed through, and things then would take a drastic turn for him. First off, viewers noticed that he then began to pay a whole film and production crew, and he also started filming at out at certain locations while paying for this film and production crew to make videos with him. This was a drastic change from him and his content overall, but because many viewers, myself included, were used to seeing just simple videos of EA talking to the camera and telling people how to change their life, if they're feeling down, or just talk about situations that happen and just telling people how to fix them. And there was no special. He didn't have a special camera crew, or the videos were just simple. They weren't like producer shot, or they weren't advancedly made. So when he then started to hire people to help make his videos, it just kind of rubbed his audience the wrong way. And now people are starting to question Richard's true intentions with his videos, because the quality of his videos suspiciously went up, which attracts more viewers, if you know what I mean. He then started to make the title of his videos more unbelievable and ridiculous, and they became pretty baity as well. Additionally, the thumbnails to his videos as well began to become more and more outrageous. Overall, his newer content just began to lack the passion that his older videos once had. They just felt less complete overall, his newer videos. And also, his uploads and just upload schedule in general became really erratic, and you overall now, you never knew what you were going to get from him, upload-wise. Back in 2013 and 2014, EA used to upload consistently once daily or once every other day, and it was pretty consistent. You were getting Pretty good uploads from him, and you were getting them on a consistent basis. Well, now, later down the line, the distance between uploads grew further. Well, obviously, his uploads. Read this on the screen right now. However, where things began to really grind to a halt for EA was in October of 2016, where he was exposed by the YouTuber Boynaband. In the video that Dave, aka Boynaband, made on Prince, he criticized EA for multiple things. For example, fear-mongering his audience, spreading pretty bad misinformation, and overall not proving what anything he said in his videos was real.
Things, but the problem I had was within the content.
You
Wrong. First, that video. Okay, so it's obvious clickbait, and that's understandable. We've all got to do what we've got to do to compete with BuzzFeed, you understand? But the problem I had was within the content.
people mad already, ready to go off on me in the comments.
How did he know?
You may be experiencing a depression right now, but you are not depressed. See, you are the sky. Depression, frustration, sadness, these are passing clouds. They come, they go.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop you there. No, depression does not always go. See, it looks like you're mixing up this Wikipedia page with this one. Depressed can be a mood, like sadness or frustration, but depressed can also refer to major depressive disorder. A mental disorder people are genetically predisposed to. I'll let this professor from Stanford University explain it.
It's a biochemical disorder with a genetic component, and early experience influences where somebody can't appreciate sunsets. And that's what this disease is about.
Seriously, well worth watching the full thing. Small Hagrid has some great insight. So let's see what else Prince has to say.
Now pause the video right now and take some time with this. This is life-changing.
If you have to tell someone something is life-changing, then it probably isn't that life-changing.
You are the witness, the perceiver of depression. And that which perceives depression is not depressed.
Okay, I get what you're trying to say. If you treat your emotions and thoughts as if you were a passive observer, you're more likely to be able to live with them. This is at the core of a type of scientifically backed therapy, which my therapist did, called ACT. I actually emailed one of the people who created the therapy, Stephen Hayes, who sent me a bunch of studies with evidence of it being effective. But there are a lot of people who are stuck with brains that do not let their sadness go. And this is why this part of his video is so problematic.
See, imagine this remote control is depression. So you got you, and then you got depression. Depression comes, it goes, it comes, it stays for a while, it goes.
For those people who have the mental disorder, it's like saying to someone in the middle of a heart attack, you don't have heart attacks. You may be experiencing a heart attack, but you do not have heart attacks. Heart attacks come, they go. And judging from the comments, it's not just me who felt strongly about this. In fact, one of his fans uploaded a response video which really... But I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he just messed up once with this topic.
See, everybody suffers from depression.
There's always this little voice between the lines there of, come on, pull yourself together. We all deal with this sort of thing.
This video is going to encourage that voice in depressed people.
Did you know that in 10 years, depression will be the leading cause of death?
Hang on, really? Even over heart disease or cancer? That seems really freaking high. Let me check his sources. Oh wait, there isn't one. Wait, is it here?
There was a study done, a hospital study, at a rate...
Here? Where is it? And this is the next problem. The guy references studies all over the place.
I read a study yesterday. Study showed it.
Hidden in the background of his videos. Wait, what's that? Oh, it's just Bigfoot, false alarm. So I have no idea whether what he's saying is just made up. And this made me wonder just how much scientific misinformation is this guy just casually throwing out there? So I started to check.
Studies show the attention span of the average adult today is 1 second lower than that of a goldfish.
Now this struck me as absolute crap, and it turns out that's because it's absolute crap. The closest I could find to a source that he might be referencing was a marketing brochure saying, the average time a user spends to digest information has decreased because the study measured how long
animals that have yet to click off or
so wrong. Here is a line
40 characters.
Issues like police brutality has been growing for decades, but I'd love to see what's wrong with that. Will much of this from the clickbait article to trust what he in case you criticize it might be the most appropriate way to address him. Incredibly important, and since Princey has called out individuals in the past to give constructive criticism, I thought this might be the most appropriate way to address him.
I read a study the other day. It said be careful when you're listening to Prince EA. I'm not gonna cite it in case you criticize it, but let me try to summarize it anyway. It said if some guy makes wild, unsourced claims and never provides citations for what he states and tries to drum up fear over what's not a big deal, then be skeptical as hell of what he's saying. Calling everyone's depression the same. Are you insane? Guess not. There at least one psychiatrist would have explained it can't always just be thought out of Jesus. It's a chemical imbalance. Please first do some research. And saying ADD is caused by media consumption, you're kinda hard to trust with such incorrect presumptions. A mountain of evidence is that it is genetic, and man, it's ADHD. Don't you listen to Kendrick? And you won't recall precious moments on the phone? I suppose you hated the moment you posed for this photo with Oprah, you hippie hypocrite. But a backtrack lickety split, deleted all of it quick. We're causing society's downfall. Technology's out to get us. Put down your phones, they're devious. Oh, and before you do, follow me on social media. You hate media overstimulation. Wait, look, how many spam articles are you posting on Facebook? But I've got to give congratulations for picking a videographer good enough to distract from the inaccurate crap you're saying. Fear-mongering over the state of the world to seem clever when several of the things you said are better than ever. We are way less selfish and we're safer than historically. And what made that possible? Oh yeah, technology, human curiosity, man, that is humanity. What isn't is spreading misinformation that's damaging. No, I'm not perfect, I bet I have some citations missed, but I try to be consistent, and if it isn't, then I'll fix it. I like your aim to bring attention to important issues, and if you fix things, you'd be great. Hell, that's why I thought to diss you. But if you won't listen to me, maybe you'll listen to one of your fans who left this comment trying to help you understand, saying, even though I really like your thoughts and attitude, gonna unfollow cause of clickbait ads and lack of scientific proof. Peace.
Wow, David, that was a really frickin' good diss track. Really liked it. As if things weren't already bad enough for Princey A at this point, unfortunately, things would just get worse for him. That's because multiple other commentary YouTubers started to pick up on what Princey A was doing and what he was doing wrong, and pretty much made videos on him, criticizing him for the videos that criticizing Princey A for the type of videos that he was making. For example, Bluesdank was one of those commentary YouTubers. And well, after this whole conundrum with him happened, Princey A responded. However, instead of understanding Dave's point of view and instead of just really taking in the criticisms overall, he was really upset by it in his response video.
While you go on and cite Wikipedia as your credible source. You picked and chose to take words out of context to make it seem like I said something I didn't, and make it seem like I had a position that I don't. There's more violence on the screen than ever before.
And yet this is the least violent.
On the screen. TV screen, on TV. But this is what really got me. You said I was fear-mongering, that what I do is dangerous. Dangerous? Let me say this. I'm not beyond reproach. But why don't you make videos about how, I don't know, police can be dangerous, racism can be dangerous, politicians, pharmacists, selfish. I didn't see him in ancient Greece either. Sorry, Leafy. And it won't be no monuments or statues. I'm going to finish.
However, overall, EA's so-called response video pretty much proved what Boy in a Band said about Princey A was right. Princey A was overall not the guy that he says he was, and overall, his content really wasn't that good, and it was pretty unhelpful. And unfortunately, after all that happened, people in the public eye began to view Princey A differently now. He was no longer seen as this caring, respectable, and inspirational content creator, as everyone previously thought. He was now seen as pretty harsh, very egotistical, and overall just toxic now. And to make matters worse, Princey A copyright took down Boy in a Band's video that he made about him, which just tanked EA's image further. As of the making of this video, the video is now back on YouTube. And after that, Richard, aka Prince EA, would sink and dive deeper into a rat hole after he promoted his quote-unquote life school. At first, in his promotional video for the school, it looked pretty cool.
So as you know, school doesn't teach you everything you need to know to succeed in your life, in your relationships, and in your mindset. So I created my own school. Every Monday to Friday, I will send you personal messages from me sent straight to your phone.
However, as y'all probably know Prince EA well enough right now, this whole thing is completely fraudulent. Since y'all probably saw Leon Lush's experience with Prince EA's school in the beginning of this video, so instead I want to show the YouTuber CoffeeZilla's experience with Prince EA's scam.
Do it better, as so many people have done before. So how is Princey's life school? Well, kind of terrible, because it's not a school at all. It's more like a text club. Now, one thing I want to say in advance is Prince E used ClickFunnels, which is a famous thing. We talk about ClickFunnels users all the time, like Kevin, you know who, Dan Locke, all these fake gurus. I'll say Prince E, like his advertising isn't too shady. He doesn't promise you the world. His prices aren't too expensive. So I'm gonna actually call him not a fake guru in the traditional sense of how we normally talk about fake gurus, but to call it a school is just kind of silly, because what he actually does is sends you like 1 minute inspirational messages, audio messages, and they remind me a lot of something, you know, your mom might send you when you're going to school, like in your lunchbox, you know? Like, did you guys ever do that? You'd have your little lunchbox and your mom would send you a little note in it that says like, be happy or smile more or, you know, be kind. That's basically what the Princey's Life School is. And I never had to pay for my mom's messages, so I don't know why I'm paying for this. It doesn't seem like it's worth $9 a month. Like, here's an example. Here's Princey for a minute talking about breath, talking about why you should breathe.
Breath is life. No, really. Breath is life. I mean, without breath,
No, really not, but okay.
there is no life. Did you know that people with breathing problems are more likely to have depression? It's true. See, breath dictates your mindset and your...
Maybe they're depressed because they have breathing problems. Not that their breathing problems are making, you know? Like, I'm depressed because my asthma sucks. I can barely breathe. Maybe they're depressed because of that, not because they're not getting enough air.
When you are depressed or sad, you can notice that your breath is as well. When you inhale through your nose...
Now, I don't want to get too far into the IP of Prince E here. He might go after me for showing you too much of the text club. That's already like a quarter of the text message he sent me on day 2 or whatever. But yeah, you get the idea. It's like your mom saying, hey, try to breathe more, hun. And you're like, thanks, mom, for something I already knew. You know, this is just kind of, this is throughout his thing. Today's was gratitude.
...is the limitless pill. You guys ever seen that movie Limitless with Bradley Cooper? It's a pill, and within minutes, he's super intelligent, better at his job and relationships. Well, did you know that you can have... Gratitude is the healthiest human emotion. Studies show...
Is it though? Is it the healthiest human emotion?
Helps you live longer, makes you happy. Grateful people earn more at their jobs, have better...
Again, what kind of correlation is this? It just so happens that people who earn more are more grateful. Incredible!
Hopefully y'all get the point by now. Honestly, man, coming from a guy that used to be an inspirational YouTuber, yeah, this overall was very pathetic. And Coffee at the time was a fairly new YouTuber. I mean, at the time that he made a Prince EA video, he had only been on the platform for a tiny bit under 2 years. His Prince EA video was made in 2020. So the fact that Prince EA was being called out by, at the time, a newer and smaller YouTuber just looked worse for him. And I also personally think that EA scammed a lot more people than just Coffee and Leon, which is pretty disgusting to think about. Prince EA continued to upload to his channel after this. However, as he did this, his subscriber count began to hemorrhage. It's probably because the scam he did, the exposing video by Dave, and because overall, at this point in his career, his content is nowhere near what it used to be. His subscriber count one time skyrocketed to a little bit over 6 million. However, by mid-2021, it dropped down to under that. His average views then also began to dip. And one time in 2021, he straight up just disappeared from YouTube. Then, when he came back from YouTube almost a month later, his views actually dipped. And it was dramatically as well. Trying to revive his dying channel, he then created another one to see if it would gain more traction. For the most part, these videos on his second channel were just basically short clips of re-uploads from his old videos. However, this channel would really fail to get much attention from it at all. At this point, his channel is now only getting 20% of the views that it used to get. And now, his actual videos go from pretty bad to absolutely fantastical and frickin' outrageous. For example, in one video, it was a YouTube short. I couldn't, sadly, I'm pretty sure the video, I'm pretty sure the video has been either privated or taken down, but because I couldn't find it anywhere. But basically, what the video was is that Prince EA, he made a video about sunscreen, basically why it causes skin cancer, and he basically talked about why, because of the certain chemicals in the sunscreen and all that. And he's basically said why coconut oil was better than sunscreen for protecting your skin from UV rays from the sun, like when you go out to the beach or something. But, however, he is completely wrong on this. But because here's the thing. It actually is not really, the sunscreen does not, most sunscreens do not actually cause skin cancer. It honestly depends on what brand of sunscreen that you're using and how effective it is and how and just how and what brand you're using overall. It's not actually, it won't actually cause you skin cancer by the chemicals, so that's pretty bold. And I pretty much disproved it with a quick Google search for y'all right there. And he also says that coconut oil is basically like a replacement for sunscreen, and he says that it's actually really good as sunscreen. However, as you're seeing on the screen right here, what Richard Williams fails to realize is that it's not actually a good sunscreen. It's not effective at all at stopping UV radiation. So that's BS too. I just proved it there. And finally, his most recent videos on his channel are him just trying to exploit the YouTube Shorts algorithm just to gain views. While it may have worked really well on one video, that's because of the title of it. Overall, it is quite disappointing to see that a YouTuber that used to inspire a lot of people has fallen into a scammer, liar, and view haggler. He was once a promising YouTuber, but nowadays he has completely destroyed his community from the inside out. Hopefully, soon enough, he will reflect and realize the past mistakes that he made and hopefully change his ways. And EA, if you're watching this, just know that you can completely continue creating your inspirational content. I actually used to like watching your early inspirational videos. And if you want to be a good YouTuber again, you have to go back to that. Just make your old style of inspirational videos, Prince EA, if you're watching this right now, and just make them higher quality than they were in 2013. And follow a good video schedule that is not only good for you, but it also makes uploading videos consistent. And then with that, you could win some old viewers back. I really hope Prince EA changes and goes back to what he used to be. But as always, only time will tell if he is willing to take the advice that I just told him. Anyways, hopefully y'all enjoyed this video. This took a really long time for me to make, so some support would be greatly appreciated. But as always, more videos like this will come from me in the future. Anyways, deuces guys!